Adeoye Oyewole.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Street Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
Born Jeremiah Oyeni Obafemi on March 6, 1909, Obafemi Awolowo was a prime architect of Nigeria's independence and most consummate advocate of free education and social welfare in Africa's most populous nation. Erudite politician, thinker and philosopher, Awo was fondly addressed by associates and political colleagues, brought his unique attributes to bear on governance in the defunct Western region. He administered as leader of government business and the premier between 1955 and 1958. Obafemi Awolowo's premiership witnessed pioneering in multi-sectoral policy initiatives and execution. The Western region under his administration paraded several enviable records. First television station in Africa, first real estate in Nigeria, first high-rise building in Nigeria, first modern sports stadium in Nigeria, first agricultural settlement in Nigeria, first modern civil service secretariat in Nigeria, and first industrial estate in Nigeria. His face is on 100 naira denomination as a mark of honor, 100 naira denomination as a mark of honor for his distinguished services to his Obafemi Awolowo as a major character in history.
Military sets up a court-martial to try 36 personnel over alleged involvement in coup plot. The federal government approves increase in peculiar allowances and other welfare benefits for civil servants. On the foreign scene, Ghana summons South Africa's envoy over recent xenophobic incidents. Good afternoon and welcome to Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. I am Femi Ojo. The Nigerian military has set up a court-martial to try 36 personnel over their alleged involvement in a plot to overthrow the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The panel, constituted by the Defense Headquarters, was inaugurated on Friday at the Scorpion Mess in Asokoro, Abuja. According to a report, proceedings were held behind closed doors amid heightened security, with journalists denied access to the venue. Security operatives also barred the use of mobile phones as the defendants were brought in. The accused personnel were conveyed to the venue in a bus belonging to the Army Headquarters garrison. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has hinted at a possible hike in the price of airfares for the next 7 days to allow domestic airlines to keep operating and avert a possible shutdown of operations, though meeting with stakeholders in the industry. He also revealed that for the next 48 to 72 hours, key stakeholders will explore fair pricing for Jet A1 fuel to tackle areas where there is possible exploitation by marketers to deliberately punish Nigerians. Keyamo also announced that President Bola Tinubu had approved a 30% discount on debts owed by domestic airlines to aviation agencies. Speaking on behalf of the airline operators, Chief Executive Officer of Air Peace Limited, Alain Onyema, though expressed optimism for a speedy resolution, stated that if nothing was done in the next 48 hours, no airline would fly for the next 7 days. The airline operators of Nigeria had early last week raised the alarm over what he described as a 300% hike in Jet A1 fuel prices from 900 naira per litre as of February 28 to 3,300 naira per litre, warning of dire consequences for the aviation sector. President Bola Tinubu has expressed Nigeria's solidarity with Gulf countries affected by attacks in the U.S.-Israel war with Iran, reaffirming the country's commitment to global peace and stability. President Tinubu spoke at the State House in Abuja when he received letters of credence from 7 ambassadors and 2 high commissioners, including those of Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Others who presented their letters of credence were representatives of Lebanon, Sudan, Namibia, Rwanda, Somalia, Argentina, and Congo, the Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, and Jordan, commending their resilience and restraint amid the crisis. He described the presentation of credentials as a milestone in Nigeria's diplomatic relations and urged the envoys to strengthen bilateral ties for mutual prosperity. And the president also highlighted his administration's economic reforms, noting that Nigeria is positioning itself as a globally competitive hub for investment, innovation, and sustainable growth. Speaking on behalf of the envoys, Qatar's ambassador Youssef Mohammed Al Hail thanked the president for receiving them and pledged to strengthen relations between their respective countries and Nigeria.
You are arriving in Nigeria as a pivotal time in our national trajectory. My administration is undertaking very bold and necessary economic reforms designed to reposition Nigeria as a globally competitive hub for investment, innovation. Commence your tour of duty. I invite you to see Nigeria not just as Africa's most populous nation, but as a dynamic partner, open for strategic and mutually beneficial business collaboration. As we engage with your government on global stage and actively guided by our strategic foreign policy, Nigeria seeks to collaborate with your nation to harness the boundless energy of our youthful demography, drive infrastructure and economic development, maximize mutual potential of our diaspora populations, and champion democratic governance. Furthermore, Nigeria remains actively aware of its responsibilities within our immediate neighborhood and the broader African continent. We are resolute in our commitment to the principles and protocols of the ECOWAS Community of West Africa and defense constitutional order, the pursuit of regional economic integration, and the stabilization of Sahel region are priorities that we cannot achieve in isolation.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu is referring syndicated loan to support the construction of the Sokoto-Badagry highway. In a communication read by the President of the Senate, Gasula Pabio, President Tinubu requested a resolution in line with Section 16 and 21 of the Debt Management Office Establishment Act 2011 to enable the federal government to secure the financing for Sections 1, Phase 1A and 1B of the project. The loan facility is to be arranged through Deutsche Bank AG. President Tinubu explained that the Superhighway project is a flagship initiative under his administration's Renewed Hope agenda, designed to enhance national connectivity, reduce travel time, and improve the movement of goods. The proposed 1,000-kilometer road will link Sokoto, Kebbi, and Badagry. He noted that the financing arrangement will be backed by a partial risk guarantee from the Islamic Corporation for the Insurance of Investment and Export Credit, while the federal government will provide counterpart funding of over 265 billion naira for land and acquisition, compensation, and related infrastructure. The federal government has approved a sweeping increase in peculiar allowances and other welfare benefits for civil servants in a move aimed at improving take-home pay and boosting morale across the public service. The announcement was made on Friday by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Walsinjak, during a news briefing in Abuja, where she outlined key reforms endorsed by the Federal Executive Council. According to Walsinjak, the review affects workers under both the Consolidated Public Service salary structure and the consolidated research and allied institutions salary structure, ensuring a broad-based impact across all cadres. She said the revised peculiar allowances have been structured to reflect across all grade levels, resulting in a meaningful increase in earnings for both junior and senior officers. In addition, the government approved an upward review of several key allowances, including duty tour allowance, extra code, and book allowance. Wilson Jack noted that virtually all allowances listed under the public service rules have now been revised. A major highlight of the reform is the approval of 100% duty tour allowance for civil servants attending approved training programs, regardless of whether travel is involved. Beyond salary-related adjustments, the government also introduced a new exit benefit scheme for retiring civil servants under the contributory pension scheme. The scheme provides 100% of a retiree's total annual emolument as an exit package in addition to their pension, effective January 1, 2026. And now to politics. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed says he is now a freelance politician with no direct ties to any political party. Governor Mohammed made the remark while hosting a chieftain of the African Democratic Congress, P2B, and stakeholders from the southeast in Bauchi. The governor said the meeting centered on national unity and collaboration, noting that the discussions were not driven by partisan interest. He added that ongoing engagement among political actors were focused on possible realignment and cooperation ahead of future elections. Governor Mohammed described Obi's visit as symbolic, saying it reflected efforts to build bridges across regions. Speaking earlier, Obi said the visit was aimed at fostering unity and strengthening collaboration across the country. He dismissed speculation about political defections, insisting that engagement was not about party alignment. The meeting was attended by several Southeast stakeholders, including former Imo State Governor Achike Udenwa and Senators Eyinaya Baribe and Victor Ume.
Neither PDP nor ADC is left alone. Me, I'm a freelance now. Like, we have freelance reporters. And he himself, his party is in the limbo. We are looking up to the judiciary. But certainly, we are all in the opposition. And that's why I said it's a political discussion. And we will not let you know what we have discussed in terms of...
That makes the difference from my earlier visit. And my purpose of that visit, our team, is to solicit the support and cooperation of His Excellency and the stakeholders of Bauchi and the Northeast in our quest to unite this country. We want to have a united country to build a future for our children. The country cannot continue the way it is today. We are headed in the wrong direction. And we need to reverse that for everybody. And that is why we are very simple purpose to seek its support and support of the stakeholders of Bauchi in building a new Nigeria. It's to be where a child of nobody can aim to be somebody.
Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says the nation is in capable hands under President Bola Tinubu, calling for his re-election to consolidate ongoing reforms and development efforts. The governor made the call while declaring open the meeting of the Southern Traditional Rulers Council in Port Harcourt, where monarchs from the 17 southern states converged to deliberate on national issues. The governor said the current administration is making notable progress in reviving the economy and delivering critical infrastructure, including coastal roads projects, despite existing challenges. He stressed that continuity in leadership is necessary, noting that it is not ideal to change the goalpost in the middle of the game. Governor Fubara further urged stakeholders across the region to work collectively towards shared aspirations, insisting that the South must remain united to achieve sustainable development. Earlier, the Ooni of Ife, Adeyeye Nito Ogunwusi, who chairs the Southern Traditional Rulers Council, said The meeting was convened to foster peace and strengthen unity across the region. He noted that the council reflects Nigeria's diversity with over 400 dialects spoken across the southern states, describing the gathering as a demonstration of unity in diversity.
Since assuming office, I have greatly benefited from the insights, contribution, and wisdom of our traditional rulers in shaping government policies and promoting peace and progress in our communities. Our government has also been strengthened by your consistent support, solidarity, and prayers to navigate the troubled political water to protect and deliver good governance to the good people of River State. Above all, let me take the pride that our country is in capable hands under our dedicated and highly patriotic President, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We must come together as one, keep aside our differences. It is our turn who must fight as one. I have no doubt that from the caliber of people that I'm seeing here, not just seeing the word of men that are representing each of these regions, will have everything that it takes to stand at this time and make a statement. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
In other news, a Lagos High Court sitting in the G.K. Taylor Courthouse in the Igbo area was adjourned till May 21 and 22 for further cross-examination of the mother of Augusta Onwagabe, the 21-year-old who was allegedly murdered by her boyfriend Benjamin Nnayerugo, also known as Killer Boy. A cross-examination by counsel for the defendant and senior advocate of Nigeria, Marcel Oru, had begun on Wednesday, April 21. It continued on Thursday, April 22, with a few questions put to the witness. However, stalled after a few questions owing to a power outage in the court which prevented the defendant's counsel from playing some electronic evidence in proof of his case for the court's viewing. Killer Boy was accused of killing Augusta at his Aja residence in Lagos on July 13, 2023, before fleeing the country. Violations of the association's constitution following an emergency delegates meeting held in Abuja on Wednesday. The meeting, attended by 63 delegates drawn from 23 state branches and the Federal Capital Territory, also approved the establishment of a caretaker committee to oversee the affairs of the association pending elections scheduled for the annual general meeting in Kano between April 27 and May 3. The development has triggered a leadership dispute with the Audu-led National Officers Committee rejecting the decision and describing it as unconstitutional and procedurally flawed. The crisis stems from the disqualification of 6 candidates from contesting the forthcoming national elections. The NOC had cited incomplete documentation as the basis for the disqualification. A justification some delegates at the EDM rejected, arguing that it was inconsistent with established electoral practices within the association. However, delegates subsequently voted to reverse the decision and clear the affected candidate to participate in the election. In response, the NMA leadership dismissed the EDM and its resolutions, insisting that due process was not followed in convening the meeting or in the suspension of the president. The Secretary General of the association, Dr. Ben